Okay, I've gone through the next step, which is to put in some depth with shading and highlighting. I'm going to bring this up here a little farther, and you can see where I put in some shades and highlights, and you can see that the petals or the leaves are now separated from each other. And I want you to look here. This is the part that is not yet done, and look at the big difference. Really makes a difference. Whoa, my camera's falling down. Let me tighten it. Okay. Anyway, this is the painting that I've been, or the picture that I've been following. And then this is our next step, where we're going to do the same thing again, but we're going to make it even more so in depth. And also I wanted to let you know that you can use these color pictures to help you to see where you need your shades and highlights as well. And I'm going to do this section right here with you, so you can keep that looking at. We're doing gray only, but you can see where the darks and the lights go with your color picture, and that's more close up than this one is. So let me hang this back up. And we're going to start. I've been using my new filbert brushes, and I've been using also these lunar blenders from Princeton. You can use a dome blender, you can use your filbert to blend. It doesn't matter. This is what I've been using. Okay, now I hope that we can see that. And it's going to be a little difficult because I'm going to be painting clear across the surface, so I'll be reaching. My eyes are a little short. But first thing I'm going to do is put extender on. Now, one thing I noticed that you have to keep a light touch on this, because I noticed that some of my base coat was reactivating and thinning out, coming off of these leaves. If I would really push if I was doing this really hard with the extender. So just kind of get it on there, and if you feel you have too much, just blot it a little. But I've noticed that my lights are pretty hot today, and it was drying a lot before I needed it to. So I'm going to leave a lot on there. So this is our leaf number 1, and it's one of the ones that had a 1 on it, so it's lightest. So what I've done is, in order to get a lighter value here, is worked a little warm white, maybe it's a little titanium white, into my lightest gray color. And I'm also beginning to run out a little bit of this light gray color, so all I'm doing is taking the medium right there and adding the white to it and coming up with a lighter color. So you know how to work with your grays and start to run out. Okay, so we're taking one value lighter and one value lower. So since this is a number 1, I'm going to use a number 2 value. And I know our instructions say to do the light areas first, and I tried that over around here, but I just found that it worked better for me to put the dark area in before the light. So that's the way I'm doing it. So I'm putting in the dark for the center vein and the base of the leaf. Be careful you don't get over that part of the leaf right there. Look at your photo so that you know where you're going. See, I don't want to take that down any lower. Okay, so I'm going to take my blender, and I'm just going to pull this out a little bit to get rid of the hard lines. And then I'm going to come back in I'm holding all 4 brushes in my hand at once. I've got a brush for the lighter color, and a blender, and then a blender and a brush for the darker color. So that way I don't have to clean my brushes as often. Okay, I'm loading with the light color and white. And then I'm coming back in here and I'm doing shape following strokes. And then I'm coming with my blender and I'm going to make a smooth transition between the light and the dark. And very important, don't forget to have that towel next to you so that you can wipe your brush off as you blend. If you don't do that, you're just pushing the paint around. Now I feel like my light has gotten lost a little bit over here, so I'm just going to come back in with a little bit lighter and pull it right back in again, and then use my blender to soften. Sometimes it's a back and forth kind of thing, because now I feel like my light is there, but I've lost the dark. So we'll just come back with that. There we go. Now I like what I've got. Need a little more dark on this side. Okay, now let's move on to this one. Now one thing that I did forget to do is I forgot to lay in a base coat layer. So let's do that with this one. I've got a little bit too much over here because it's swimming a little. You get that. Let's take a clean brush and clean that edge up. Okay. So I'm pinch wiping my brush. And I'm going to come in with the dark, because this is my dark brush. If you feel it any time like the dark color that you're putting on there, or the light color for that matter too, just isn't dark enough, then mix in a little with your next shade. And I'll soften those edges. We get a good blend of this dark going into our base coat.